Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Tanvi Taneja and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 56%. More than 237,000 people cured. Home Minister Amit Shah calls for strict monitoring and quarantine of contacts of all COVID-19 positive cases in Delhi. BJP President JP Nadda asks Congress not to play politics over Ladakh standoff with China. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh leaves for Moscow. Focus on deepening of Indo-Russia defence and strategic partnership. And Centre pleads in Supreme Court that Lord Jagannath annual Rath Yatra in Puri may be allowed without public participation. The Union Government today said that a total of 237,196 people are affected with coronavirus have been cured so far, and the recovery rate reached 55.77% in the country. During the last 24 hours, 9,440 people recovered from COVID-19. Presently, the total number of active corona cases in the country is over 1,74,000. The Union Health Ministry said a total of 14,821 new cases of COVID-19 were reported during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to over 4,25,000. In one day, a total of 445 deaths were reported, taking the nationwide toll to 13,699. A high-level committee set up by Home Minister Amit Shah has recommended quarantine of contacts of all COVID-19 positive cases in Delhi and remapping of all containment zones to check the rapid spread of coronavirus infection in the national capital. Chairing a high-level meeting yesterday where report of Dr. V.K. Paul committee was presented, the Home Minister advised the Delhi government to implement the containment strategy recommended by the committee. In a statement, the Home Ministry said that the committee has recommended to draw afresh containment zones, strict vigil and control on their borders, along with the activities inside the zones. It suggested that contact tracing should be done for all infected people, and once identified, such contacts should be quarantined. The Arogya Setu and Itihas apps should be jointly used to accomplish this task. The meeting was attended by Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal and Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, among others. The committee, headed by Dr. V.K. Paul, member Niti Aayog, was set up by Mr. Shah on the 14th of this month. It has suggested that all locations outside containment zones should be chronicled and monitored so that comprehensive data on Delhi is available. The committee has also recommended that COVID-19 affected people should be treated in hospitals, COVID care centres or in home isolation. The Home Minister said all COVID-19 positive patients will have to go to COVID care centres, and those who have facilities at home and have no comorbidity can avail home isolation in Delhi. He also said the centre should be informed as to how many people are in home isolation in Delhi. He asked Delhi government authorities to take technical help for drawing the new or amended limits for containment zones in Delhi. As per the timetable, the new scheme should be ready by 22nd of June. District level teams should be formed by 23rd of June, and the amended or new limits of containment zones should be ready by 26th of June. 100% survey of containment zones should be done by 30th of June, and a comprehensive survey for the rest of Delhi should be done by the 6th of July. A serological survey will be done for Delhi between 27th of June and 10th of July, in which 20,000 people will be sample tested. This will enable authorities to make a comprehensive analysis of COVID-19 infection in Delhi, and then a broad strategy can be prepared to combat the pandemic in the national capital. Meanwhile, Delhi government has directed all district magistrates to ensure that the daily reported cases of coronavirus are verified within 24 hours and scale up their operations by constituting additional surveillance teams if needed.
3,000 new confirmed cases of coronavirus have been reported during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 59,746. In Delhi, government has confirmed that over 33,000 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far. In the last 24 hours, 1,719 people have recovered and 63 deaths were reported in the national capital, taking the toll to 2,175. The Delhi High Court today put on hold the investigation and all related proceedings against the Gangaram Hospital in connection with an FIR lodged against it for alleged violation of COVID-19 regulation norms. Justice C. Harishankar said he was convinced that on principle of prima facie case, balance of convenience and public interest, the investigation consequent to the lodging of FIR against the hospital deserves to be stayed till final disposal of the petition. The court said in its order pronounced via video conferencing that all proceedings consequent to registration of impugned FIR, including investigation by police, shall remain stayed till final disposal of the petition. The interim order came on the hospital's application seeking stay on the proceedings in relation to the FIR lodged at the Rajendra Nagar police station on 5th of June. A total of 25,000 active COVID-19 cases are in Delhi and around 12,000 people are under home isolation. Briefing media, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said there has been a 3 times increase in testing in the national capital and now around 18,000 COVID-19 tests are being conducted daily. He said serious cases are less in the city and most of the cases are mild. Mr. Kejriwal added that 7,000 beds are vacant across Delhi. The Chief Minister said the government will give pulse oximeters to all those under home isolation to measure their oxygen levels.
In Mizoram, the state government has extended the ongoing total lockdown from 23rd to 30th of this month. The State Disaster Management Authority, chaired by the Chief Secretary, Lalnun Mavia Choango, issued a notification on this yesterday. The decision is taken to sustain the ongoing efforts towards containment of COVID-19. The state remains under 14-day total lockdown of 6th phase till today, which has been imposed due to rise of significant number of COVID-19 cases in the state and also for rapid rise in number of positive cases in the neighbouring states. More from our correspondent.
The 7th phase lockdown from tomorrow will remain effective in containment zones identified as areas under jurisdiction of Aizawl municipal area and all district headquarters. The rural areas which are relatively out of the danger zone will remain exempted from the strict rules of lockdown. The ongoing lockdown has allowed opening of shops on alternative days from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. with maintenance of social distancing and wearing of face masks. A ban on interstate transport except carrying essential goods is imposed. Also, stranded people after returning to the state will be put in 21 days institutional quarantine. Shubhashish Chando, AIR News, Aizawl.
In Maharashtra, the recovery rate of the state is maintained above 50% and various measures are proving successful with a steady decline in number of cases in hotspots like Dharavi. But to contain the spread in suburbs, the civic body is adopting new measures and may impose some other restrictions in some particular areas. At the same time, the increasing number of COVID-affected police personnel has also posed a challenge in front of the state administration. More from our correspondent.
The recovery rate of COVID-19 patients in Maharashtra is improving, but there is steady rise in number of cases not only in cities but also in rural areas. At the same time, the police force of the state is also facing difficulties due to the spread in the force. 55 police personnel were tested positive yesterday and the total number of the COVID positive police personnel has become 4,105. There are positive outcomes in the earlier hotspots like Dharavi, but due to the new rising trend in suburbs, BMC has changed its strategy and going to impose strict lockdown measures focusing particular areas and not the whole ward. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Jharkhand, 76 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of people tested for corona positive in the state so far to 2,103. Recovery rate in the state is quite good at 68.95% after a total of 1,446 people have recovered and have been discharged from COVID-19 special hospitals. 30 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours in the state. The active caseload, including those in hospitals and isolation centres, presently stands at 646, while a total of 11 people have succumbed to death due to COVID-19. Health Minister Banna Gupta informed AIR News that the recovery rate of COVID-19 patients in the state is quite good. Mr. Gupta said that 30 TrueNat machines have been functioning in the district headquarters, while 30 have been virtually functional. He also said that more 120 TrueNat machines are to be installed in the state very soon.
ट्रूनेट मशीन वो करीबन हम लोगों ने 30 लगा चुके हैं और 30 ऑनलाइन है और इसके बाद अभी 120 का भी लाने का प्रस्ताव है। इसी के साथ हम लोग लगातार जांच की प्रक्रिया बढ़ाने के लिए हमने दुमका, देवघर और हजारीबाग में हमने लैब स्थापित किया है और वहां भी हम RT-PCR मशीन डालेंगे।
So far, 121,770 samples have been tested in the state, and the mortality rate is as low as 0.52% in comparison to the national average of 3.36%. As COVID cases are on rise in Kerala, the state is in high alert with tightening of lockdown measures in containment zones. More in this report.
The authorities had strengthened COVID precautionary measures with widespread swab testing in containment zones, strict implementation of quarantine and lockdown guidelines in hotspots of the state. As more cases are being reported, where source could not be ascertained, antibody testing is being conducted to check the community spread of virus. Meanwhile, State Health Minister K.K. Shailaja said that there is no community spread of COVID-19 in Kerala yet, but the fear exists. The State Nodal Officer Amar Fittle told AR News that extreme alert is needed in this hour and that the public need to strictly adhere to COVID guidelines, avoid unnecessary travelling and gathering. Presently, 1,490 active COVID cases are there in the state. Meanwhile, under Vande Bharat mission, over 2,000 expatriates will arrive in Kerala today in 9 flights from Gulf region and Maldives. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
Union Minister for Development of Northeastern Region, Donair, Dr. Jitendra Singh reviewed the COVID-19 status and healthcare facilities in aspirational districts with special focus on Northeast. The minister disclosed that in the wake of coronavirus pandemic, the Donair ministry has decided to sanction 190 crore rupees for augmentation of healthcare facilities in the 8 northeastern states, particularly for developing infrastructure for management of infectious diseases. Dr. Singh was addressing a virtual meeting attended by the health secretaries as well as deputy commissioners and health officials of the 14 aspirational districts of Northeast. He said the Donair ministry has given the northeastern states the option to send proposals for health-related projects to be funded up to over 500 crore rupees from Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme. He said accordingly, proposals have been received from the states of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, Sikkim, Mizoram and Nagaland, while the proposals from the 8th state of Tripura is awaited. Dr. Jitendra Singh also complimented the aspirational districts of Goalpada and Dhubri in Assam for having achieved Ayushman Bharat coverage of nearly 185%. In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Speaking to AIR News, Dr. Sonali Bali, psychiatrist at Vidyasagar Institute of Mental Health and Neuro and Allied Sciences, New Delhi, said that misinformation regarding COVID through multiple unverified sources has led to anxiety-related issues in people, which manifests in the form of social stigma. She advised everyone to limit exposure to only verified information sources.
One can be socially connected with near and dear ones. Limiting the use of internet, use it for better things like constructive workshops, maintaining a positive, optimistic attitude which will help in putting things in perspective. And one can also indulge in some basic relaxation techniques which can help a person deal with the anxiety associated with this period. And another thing I feel which is important is to maintain a kind and compassionate attitude towards others.
Speaking to AIR News, Dr. Saurabh Mehrotra, consultant at the Mental Health Division in Medanta Hospital, emphasized that people should indulge in positive addictions, namely reading books, music activities, exercise, among others. He said special care should be taken not to overexpose oneself to excessive COVID-related news, which leads to anxiety-related issues.
Positive addictions would include the creative arts, such as drawing, writing, painting. All of these qualify as positive addictions. Music is positive addictions. People who are interested in dancing, that's a positive addiction. Playing a game with family members has the beneficial effect of both the social interaction as well as the fun of the game. Some people like to do gardening. Some people like to do cooking. All of these qualify as positive addictions and have a significant benefit in reducing the stress. Then social connection is very important.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 56%. More than 237,000 people cured. Home Minister Amit Shah calls for strict monitoring and quarantine of contacts of all COVID-19 positive cases in Delhi. BJP President JP Nadda asked Congress not to play politics over Ladakh standoff with China. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh leaves for Moscow, focusing on deepening of Indo-Russia defence and strategic partnership. And Centre pleads in Supreme Court that Lord Jagannath annual Rath Yatra in Puri may be allowed without public participation. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान रखो, बड़े बुजुर्गों का तुम ध्यान रखो, तो बात करो, कुछ मदद करो, कोरोना के चलते याद रखो, घर की सफाई ना भूलना, हाथों को धोना मत भूलना, सुरक्षित दादा दादी नाना नानी अभियान, अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh has called upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi to ensure justice for soldiers who died defending India's territorial integrity during Ladakh face-off. In a statement, Dr. Singh said, to do any less would be a historic betrayal of people's faith. He said this is a moment where people must stand together as a nation and be united in response to this brazen threat. Dr. Singh added that China is brazenly and illegally seeking to claim parts of Indian territory such as the Galwan Valley and the Pangong Tso Lake by committing multiple incursions from April. He said India cannot and will not be cowed down by threats and intimidation nor permit a compromise with territorial integrity. BJP President JP Nadda has hit back at former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and the Congress for criticizing the government on the Ladakh standoff. In a series of tweets, Mr. Nadda accused Congress of insulting Indian forces repeatedly and questioning their valour. He alleged that Dr. Singh did this post the airstrikes and surgical strikes. He urged them to understand the true meaning of national unity, especially in such times. Mr. Nadda said Dr. Manmohan Singh's comments on Ladakh are merely word play and conduct of top Congress leaders will not make any Indian believe such statements. He alleged that Dr. Singh was not as worried when he abjectly surrendered hundreds of squares of kilometres of India's land to China during his tenure. The BJP president said India fully trusts and supports Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said 130 crore Indians have seen his administrative experience in some of the most testing times and how he has always put the well-being of the nation over and above everything else. He said Dr. Manmohan Singh can certainly share his wisdom on many subjects, but the responsibilities of the office of the Prime Minister is not one of them. He alleged that UPA personified systematic institutional erosion of that office, combined with disrespect for the armed forces, and the NDA government has reversed that.
A moderate earthquake of 5.3 magnitude has jolted some parts of Mizoram in the wee hours of this morning. According to the National Centre for Seismology, the quake of 5.3 magnitude on the Richter scale occurred at 4:10 this morning. The epicenter of the earthquake was at 20 kilometers depth in 27 kilometers south-southwest of Champhai district. The earthquake jolted areas of Tuipuiral in East Tuipui constituency. Local people said an aftershock was experienced half an hour later. According to police, there was no report of loss of life. However, many houses, buildings, church and community halls were found cracked after the tremors. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today spoke to the Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga on the situation in the wake of the earthquake. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he assured all possible support from the centre. An earthquake of 5.1 magnitude hit Mizoram yesterday. Home Minister Amit Shah has spoken to Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga to review the situation after the earthquake tremors in the state. In a tweet, Mr. Shah assured him all possible support from the central government. He said he is praying for everyone's safety and well-being. In Madhya Pradesh, the Madhya Kshetra Vidyut Vitaran Company has started the Nishtha Vidyut Mitra scheme for women empowerment in one of its kind of initiatives. In this scheme, women's self-help groups at Gram Panchayat level will work as Nishtha Vidyut Mitra. This scheme will increase the revenue collection of the company as well as women will also earn extra. We have a report.
The Nishtha Vidyut Mitra scheme has been implemented in all the Gram Panchayats of all 16 districts of Bhopal, Narandapuram, Gwalior and Chambal divisions of the company's jurisdiction. Under the Nishtha Vidyut Mitra scheme, women self-help groups will motivate consumers to pay bills online or through the Upay app, redress of various complaints of consumers like faulty meters and provide new connections through online process. Apart from this, they will also help the company to provide information about an illegal use of electricity. The company will pay an incentive to Nishtha Vidyut Mitra for recovery of dues and new connections. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has left for Moscow, Russia this morning. He will be on a 3-day visit. In a tweet, Mr. Singh said during his visit he will hold talks on ways to further deepen the Indo-Russia defence and strategic partnership. The Defence Minister said he will also attend the 75th Victory Day Parade in Moscow. The Victory Parade will be held on Wednesday to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the victory in the Second World War. The parade is organised to honour the heroism and sacrifices made by the Russian and other friendly people. Russian Defence Minister Sergei Shoigu had invited Mr. Singh to the Victory Parade, which was originally scheduled on the 9th of May but was postponed due to COVID-19 pandemic. Separately, a tri-service 75-member Indian military contingent has already reached Moscow to participate in the Victory Parade along with the Russian contingent and other invited contingents. The marching contingent taking part in the Victory Day Parade is led by a major rank officer of the gallant Sikh Light Infantry Regiment. The regiment had fought with valour in the Second World War and has a proud distinction of earning 4 battle honours and 2 military crosses amongst other gallantry awards. The centre today told the Supreme Court that Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra in Puri can be allowed to be held this year without public participation in view of coronavirus pandemic, saying the tradition of centuries may not be stopped. The Odisha government also supported the centre's stand in the apex court. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who mentioned the matter before a bench headed by Justice Arun Mishra, said it is a matter of faith for crores. He said if Lord Jagannath will not come out tomorrow, he cannot come out for 12 years as per traditions. Mr. Mehta said that besides maintaining precautions, the state government can impose curfew for a day. The Puri Rath Yatra, which is attended by lakhs of people from across the world, is scheduled from tomorrow. The Apex Court had on 18th of June said that in the interest of public health and safety of citizens, this year's Puri Rath Yatra cannot be allowed. In Gujarat, the Jagannath Mandir Trust has decided not to carry out the annual Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath in Ahmedabad tomorrow. This was decided in a meeting of the Jagannath Mandir Trust held last evening after Gujarat High Court stayed the Rath Yatra in view of COVID pandemic. More from our correspondent.
Mahant Dilip Das Ji of 400 years old Jagannath Temple in Jamalpur area told media persons that 143rd annual Rath Yatra will not go outside the temple campus tomorrow. This decision was taken in a temple trust meeting which was also attended by Minister of State for Home Pradeep Singh Jadeja along with State DGP and Ahmedabad City Police Commissioner. Mahant Dilip Das Ji said that all 3 chariots of Lord Jagannath Ji, brother Balbhadra Ji and sister Subhadra Ji will roam within the temple campus tomorrow. However, all rituals like Mangala Aarti, Mahabhog and Pahind Vidhi will be held as per traditions. Lakhs of devotees gathered every year on the 14-kilometer long traditional route of Rath Yatra for glimpse of Lord Jagannath Ji. This will be for the first time in past 143 years that annual Rath Yatra would not be taken out on its traditional route of Ahmedabad city. Yogesh Pandya, Air News, Ahmedabad.
A special flight under Vande Bharat mission carrying 125 Indian medical students stuck in Kyrgyzstan landed in Indore at Devi Ahilyabai Holkar International Airport last night. The Air India flight, which took off from Kyrgyzstan capital Bishkek, reached Indore via Delhi. A health department official said all the students will be quarantined in their respective districts for a period of 14 days as per the guidelines. In Sri Lanka, the third flight under Vande Bharat mission and first from Colombo to Delhi took off this morning. The Air India flight carrying around 240 Indian nationals will also fly to Lucknow and Gaya later today. Earlier, the two flights carried passengers to Mumbai, Bhubaneswar, Kolkata, Kochi and Bengaluru. Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle thanked Sri Lankan government for the help extended in making the operations smooth. Around 700 Indian nationals were evacuated by Indian Navy ship INS Jalashva early this month to Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu. Around 2,000 Indian nationals have registered with Indian High Commission in Colombo for repatriation. The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program today, will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Lieutenant General Ved Chaturvedi, rheumatologist at Gangaram Hospital, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions from the experts on the toll-free number 1800-115767. One can also ask questions on the telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold and channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
In Sri Lanka, a former minister has said that they were unaware of an alert from Pakistan prior to the Easter Sunday attacks, as claimed by Pakistan High Commissioner. Mr. Ruvan Vijayawardena, who was State Minister of Defence at the time of attacks, said that he was not aware of such a warning received from Pakistan and that the only alert they received was from India. His comments came as Pakistan High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Major General retired Mohammad Saad Khattak, told a private television station last week that Pakistan had alerted Sri Lanka of a plot to launch attacks months before Easter Sunday. He said that the information was based on intelligence intercepts, but no follow-up action was taken by the Sri Lankan government at the time. Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has announced that National Testing Agency NTA has launched Hindi tests feature on the National Test Abhyas mobile app. He said that competitive exam students preferring Hindi can now practice on their mobile devices with Hindi mock tests released on the smartphone application by the NTA. Now let us take a look at the weather updates for the day today. The national capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature recorded was 24 degrees Celsius and maximum is expected to go up to 37 degrees. Mumbai will witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature recorded was 28 degrees and maximum will be around 34 degrees. Chennai will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature recorded was 26 degrees Celsius and maximum is expected to go up to 37 degrees. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature was 27 degrees while maximum will be around 34 degrees. In Dehradun, the temperature is expected to hover between 25 and 33 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunder showers. Bengaluru witnessed minimum temperature of 20 and the maximum is expected to be at 29 degrees. The city will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Forecast for Ahmedabad says there will be generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was 28 degrees while maximum will be around 37 degrees. Guwahati will have a generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the city was 27 degrees while maximum will be around 35. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 27 degrees in Jammu while maximum will be around 38 degrees. The city is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature was 15 while maximum will be around 31. There is a forecast of mainly clear sky. In Gilgit, the temperature is likely to hover between 13 and 36 degrees Celsius with mainly clear sky. In Muzaffarabad, the sky will be mainly clear, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The city recorded minimum temperatures of 19 degrees, while maximum will be around 38 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, here are the headlines once again. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 56%. More than 2,37,000 people cured. Home Minister Amit Shah calls for strict monitoring and quarantine of contacts of all COVID-19 positive cases in Delhi. BJP President JP Nadda asks Congress not to play politics over Ladakh standoff with China. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh leaves for Moscow. Focus on deepening of Indo-Russia defence and strategic partnership. And Centre pleads in Supreme Court that Lord Jagannath annual Rath Yatra in Puri may be allowed without public participation. And for details of these stories and more, you can log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the Midday News.